We now have one fighter left to represent Team Kengan in the tournament against Purgatory, facing the hype machine Lolong himself, the protagonist of Kengan Ashura, Tokita Ohma, the Ashura. Will he shock everyone? Will he job? Let's discuss. Hope you enjoy. But yeah, like the video, subscribe, and yeah, high five if you do that. So, Ohma, we all thought he was dead after Ashura, but you know, came back chapter 50 of Kengan Mega, shocked everyone, one of the greatest chapters of all time. We learned that over the 2-year time skip, he's been at the Kure clan village. 1 year was spent recovering with his new hide and everything like that, and 1 year was spent training, consisting of daily matches against Kure Ryan the Devil. So by default, he's going to be much stronger compared to his Ashura counterpart. Also remembering that during the Ashura Annihilation tournament, Ohma was pretty much dying since the very start. So now we're going to see a full health, much stronger and ready to go Ohma, see what he's truly capable of. And then we had all the stuff regarding Faye against Waka, which just finished. Faye pretty much admitted that he isn't the Tiger Vessel, meaning there's only one student left for it, and that's Ohma. So Ohma is going to surpass Faye at some point in the story, because it's very clear that Faye is much stronger compared to Ashura Ohma. And we even have the Tiger Nico continuing to show interest in Ohma, even though technically he isn't even his student, even though he's saying that he is, so it's quite strange with all that. But yeah, Ohma still has the story backing him. Even though Kengan Omega isn't his story, he still has the story backing him, which is going to add more to his power by default. However, I think his power has developed in a different way to Faye. Based on the ending portion of the fight between Faye and Waka, it's very clear that Faye is much better at using the advance, considering he can fuse the Fallen Demon and Advance together to create a new transformation in Divine Demon, which is several times stronger than the maximum output Advanced Ohma used back in Ashura. So when it comes to Advanced Mastery, Faye is on another level, but Ohma, I believe, is going to have that Nico style mastery. Back in Ashura, we saw the diagram showing that he's maxed out when it comes to redirection and flame kata, with Kuroki even confirming during their fight that his redirection has surpassed even that of his master Tokita Nico. His water kata and adamante kata are lacking behind. It's very clear based on Faye's Nico style showing that his specialty is the water kata and probably redirection as well. Maybe Ohma's worked on perfecting the water and adamante over the 2 years as well, allowing him to have a perfected Nico style as a whole, potentially more than Faye, but still it's going to be hard to be more than Faye considering the crazy stuff Faye was pulling out against Waka. But still, I think Ohma has the potential to do it, considering the secret technique Demon's Bane, which seems to only be passed down to Ohma currently. We don't know whether the Tiger Nico actually learnt it. I personally don't think so, and it's pretty clear that Faye never learnt it, so Ohma could potentially be the only one alive that knows Demon's Bane. But it is a possibility that Garuki and Gaimikaku could know it. Gaimikaku definitely does, but Garuki potentially, that could be cool. But yeah, Ohma has the Demon's Bane, which is probably the best technique in the whole Kengan verse, which will most likely play major importance in his fight against Lolong. Going back to Ohma's training over the 2 years, we learned that when it comes to wins against Kure Ryan, he was actually on the losing end, meaning Kure Ryan defeated him in those training matches more times than Ohma defeated him, which you could argue demonstrates that Kure Ryan as a whole is stronger. But when it comes to, you know, crazy matches like what's about to occur with Lolong, Ohma is a lot more tactical, and I don't think their training matches were like all out to the point of death. They were just like practice sparring matches. I doubt they were even transforming or anything like that, but again, we don't know. So yeah, Ohma regardless is relative to current Kure Ryan, who Lolong said is as strong as the Fang, referring to Kanagito in that circumstance. So Ohma is going to be one of the strongest in the verse, as pretty much everyone expected. He could potentially have some new Nico style techniques, maybe fusing some Kure clan techniques with his Nico style to potentially perfect his other katas, or make his Nico style better perhaps, as it's his Nico style now, so that could be something interesting, as we did see Faye pull out techniques Ohma had never seen before, so Ohma could potentially do a similar thing. Of course, he's going to be using the advance. I'm expecting him to use it at a lower output, which allows him to use all of his Nico style techniques without any drawbacks. and he's probably mastered the ability to release more over the 2 years without going completely crazy, also considering he has a new heart to handle the strain it gives on the body. But the real question is he going to be able to defeat Lolong? Lolong, he's pretty much the character who's received the most hype in the Kenganverse from like direct statements, reactions from other characters, and overall hype from the story itself. We've never had anything like this. You could maybe argue Kano Gito during the early portions of the Kengan Ashura Annihilation Tournament, but it's probably a better argument that Lolong has received more hype at this point. And this is to such a degree that we have Ohma calling him a monster, we have Kazu who doesn't fully believe in Ohma defeating Lolong, Carlos saying he pities Team Kengan because they have to fight Lolong, and Lolong himself sleeping through most of the Faye vs Waka fight, not saying anything, not showing any reactions, which is just even more insane comparing to Ohma's reactions during that fight. I expect Ohma to solely focus on like Nicker style spam, so we're going to see a lot of name techniques, probably a lot more than what Faye was doing. Faye more so focused on flexing by using new techniques that Ohma didn't know. He did use some that he did, but the majority were new ones. Ohma doesn't care about flexing and all that. He doesn't have anyone to flex to. He's just focusing on getting the win, so he's going to use all of his other Nicker style techniques that he's learned, which, you know, there's a lot, as you can see on screen now, just looking at the wiki here. We got all those techniques. We have Demon's Bane, we have other fusions we'll most likely see. Maybe some that his master used that we never saw Ohma completely master, he could use some of those. And if the fight between Waka and Faye does end up being a draw, that means the winner will be decided of the match between Ohma and Lolong. For the broader story, I would much prefer the matches to stay in a Kengan setting rather than Purgatory. So I would want Ohma to win the fight, but just thinking about Lolong losing is kinda bringing disappointment by itself. Of course this fight is going to be super close. I don't think many people are going to be confident in their prediction for this fight. I know I'm not. I'm still in between both of them. I don't know who's going to win at this point. It could be Lolong, it could be Ohma. Sandovich is an absolute mad lad. He could go either way with this. We really just have no idea. One thing I am hoping is that the fight doesn't get cut short. We know Mutaba is currently fighting the Tiger Nico. We have Ryan fighting Edward and all that. The Tiger Nico is a sussy boy. We learnt a lot more stuff regarding the Tiger Vest and how Ohma is pretty much the last remaining chance at this point for whatever that is. So yeah, a whole lot of stuff that could potentially stop this fight from finishing. I hope it doesn't, but regardless, the art's going to be insane, as you already saw in Waka vs Faye in the last few chapters. I cannot wait for the walkouts of both fighters. Personally, one of my favorite things in all of Kengan. Always love the walkouts of the crazy art and just the crazy panels we get of the fighters when they walk out. So yeah, that should be everything. Join the Discord to talk more about Kengan. Follow the Twitter for more greatness. And as always, shout out to the people who support the channel via the Patreon. Stay hyped. Laters.